Hey guys, how's everything? Thanks for joining again. It's Yuma, the co-founder and chief strategy officer of Zenia. Again, like it's third day, I think. Um, I just decided to have some regular X space like this, at least until we do the node cell, we start node cell. So yeah, thank you for joining again. Uh, Probably you joined my kind of official X space last night or yesterday. Like the time, it really depends on the time zone. If you're in the night or in the morning or daytime. But thank you all for joining me here. So I wanted to kick off today's space by following up on two thoughtful questions from last night's session, and both really touch on the heart of Zenea's direction. So yeah, let's unpack them together. Okay. So yeah, tonight we have a comment section here. Okay. So the first question is from latecomer. Are you here? Uh, I don't know. Latecomer. Yeah, you're here. You're here. I see you. Okay. So the first question came from latecomer. He's in the session now. Thank you. So the question is, will the Xenia token be launching on a specific chain, or are you planning a multi-chain approach? Okay, so Xenia token, aka Zenia, will launch natively on our own layer one chain. Xenia is a decentralized storage project, but at the same time, it's a layer one EVM compatible layer one blockchain with integrated decentralized storage. So yes, we will launch our own layer one chain, and the Zenia, the tokens, our tokens will launch natively on our layer one chain. So that's a deliberate choice, and it's tied directly to our consensus mechanism, proof of democracy, POD in short. But POD is more than just a technical innovation. It's a statement about participation. So yes, on Zenia, every wallet connected to the network can potentially become a voting node um, under POD, and not by delegation, but through genuine engagement. The the architecture is designed to be open, so if you choose to participate in validation and governance, the path exists. It's about removing artificial barriers and making active involvement accessible to everyone, so not just a select few. So that's why the token is anchored at the very core of our chain, and we're not just building for distribution's sake. We're building for alignment, for agency, and for the opportunity for real people to help shape the network. But yes, answering the question, um, yes, we're planning a multi-chain approach. Yep. Having said that, we're looking at the broader landscape, of course. So in a world that's increasingly multi-chain, um, walls and silos only slow down meaningful progress, right? And interoperability is not just nice to have. I think it's essential for genuine adoption and real-world utility. So that's why from the very beginning, we're building our own bridge solution. So the near can flow to where people are while keeping its roots and governance firmly grounded in the Zenia network. So in summary, Um, Launch, it's a native on Zenia layer 1 for real governance and philosophical coherence, but in expansion, bridged outward intentionally, making Zen accessible while preserving its core value. And in philosophy, one token, many doorways, so always returning to a unified participatory community. I think I answered your question, uh, right? So yeah, um, for for us, technical architecture and shared values are inseparable. The real challenge and opportunity is to create openness and interoperability without losing our sense of direction and collective purpose. So yeah, thank you, latecomer. I really liked your question, and hopefully you get me more questions and ideas. Um, yeah, thank you very much. So let's move on to the second question. Okay, let me see. So the second question is from Black Bezos. You there? Black Bezos, you there? I think, I think, I don't know. No, maybe not. Maybe not at the moment. Yeah. He will listen at some point later. But anyway, so the second question is from Black Bezos. He gives me really good questions all the time. Like I think he's been following my account or following Zenia at least, I don't know, 3 to 4 months at least. He gave me a chain of like good questions. So it it came from that guy, Black Bezos. So the question is, with Zenia launching financial features like on and off ramp and payments in Q3 2025, how might this reshape user adoption in ecosystems that traditionally struggle with Web 2 to Web 3 transitions? It's a really good question. This question goes to the very heart of like why we're building Zenia Wallet. So first, just a quick recap, quick summary of what's been integrated. So the social coin is already live in Zenia Wallet, right? So this means like anyone can step into Web3 with the credentials they already trust. So no seed phrase or no wrestling with the private keys and stuff like that. So it might sound like a small change, but it already like lowers the barrier to entry, especially in regions, I don't know, like the global south, where we're seeing impressive adoption. And while we're looking ahead into Q3 2025, I mean for the next few months, we're launching a comprehensive financial layer, just like I covered during the late last night space. So fiat on and off ramps, card payments, and in-store payment features, followed by like user experience as seamless as the best fintech apps, but with decentralization under the hood. So, but beyond taking off features, our core belief is that technology truly matters when it disappears into the background. Mhm. So when Web3 stops feeling foreign and just works for real people, that's what we call like Web 2.5, right? It's not about meeting people halfway. It's about making the future familiar and intuitive. And we want decentralization to feel like a natural progression, not leap into the unknown. It's just a totally different thing, right? So yeah, so I want anyone to feel like it's a natural progression and not to leap into the unknown. Okay, so imagine this. A student in Lagos can earn and spend a digital assets as intuitively as mobile money, or a merchant in Ho Chi Minh City can accept card payments without technical headaches. And by the way, I'm going to Vietnam um, around August, the beginning of August for GM Vietnam and some exclusive dinner party with me. Um, yeah. So what else? Let's say like NGOs in Karachi can deliver like programmable, transparent aid, auditable and trustable by all, or stuff like that. And all of this with a user experience designed so people never have to worry about technical jargon or blockchain concepts, right? Ultimately, our goal is not just to make Web3 user friendly, it's to make it invisible, an infrastructure that empowers people, communities, and economies without demanding they change their habits or learn new concepts. It's always a pain, right? To learn new things, to change your habits. I don't want to change my habits. Like I just want to wake up in the morning, um, drink like a brew some coffee and just to grab a bite of a piece of bread and then walk my dog. Yeah, in Tokyo, I live in front of the park, a huge greenery park, and I just take my dog a walk. That's my habit, like daily routine. I just don't want to change it. So people don't want to change their habits. It's my mine is not really about the financial thing, but yeah. So people don't want to change habits, and I don't want them to change their habits. So um, yeah, I just want our Zenia wallet to go invisible in terms of like a Web3. I just want people to use it like on daily basis without changing their habits or learning new concepts. So yeah, the real adoption happens when decentralization is experienced, not just explained, right? So when it's felt, not forced. Okay. So that's what drives us at Zenia, especially for when it comes to Zenia wallet. Okay. So, but these two questions just came up right after the last session, or probably towards the end of the session. Like it's I really cannot keep up with all the comments and the questions. Like while I keep speaking on my own, uh, just looking at my dog. So yeah, but these are the questions I got from last night space. And what else? Yeah, and just read the news article about the President Trump signing the crypto kind of a law. So yeah, before we wrap up, I want to quickly address the big news out of the U.S. this week. So like I just said, like President Trump has signed the Genius Act, the country's first major crypto legislation into law. Wow, yeah. This bill creates like new rules for stablecoins, aiming to bring clearer standards and oversight to the sector. And the Congress also advanced the Clarity Act, which could shift crypto regulation away from the SEC and toward a more specialized body. I just don't remember the name of the like a new specialized body. Anyone remember? But anyway, so what does this mean for us at Xenia? I think it's a clear signal that the world's largest economy is moving from hesitation to the real engagement with crypto. And for the global ecosystem and for like users in Nigeria, Vietnam, Pakistan, like this kind of regulatory clarity could open up new doors for responsible innovation and wider adoption for sure. And at Xenia, we see this as a sign that mainstream acceptance is accelerating, and it validates our long-term vision of building like open, accessible, and compliant infrastructure. But but and also, it's also a reminder, I think, regulation must strike a balance because we want to see clear, fair rules that empower users and then protect them without stifling the creativity and accessibility that make Web3 so transformative, right? But I think it's a really good news. I don't know. Any of my co-founders or anyone on my team think about this. We haven't talked about this yet, but possibly it's a really good signal. And especially like from my own experience working with politicians and central bank officials across Africa, one thing is clear. Um, Clear and a pragmatic regulation is not just about compliance, and it's about unlocking real opportunities for economic growth and inclusion. Okay, so like too often, the regulatory uncertainty in Africa has slowed innovation. It's not because leaders are not interested, but because the risks seem unmanageable without a well-defined framework. That's very true, I think. And when policymakers see major economies like the US moving toward clear crypto standards, it can definitely help open minds and lower resistance in their own countries. It gives governments and the central banks more confidence that embracing Web3 is not a leap into the unknown. Yeah, definitely. Um, I've talked to many like central bank officials, and like even in the very small um, African country with a very small like GDP or economic growth, these people from the central bank, they are pretty much familiar with the crypto themselves, but uh, but all they say um, like when it comes to policy making, like the risks they always say like the risks look so much unmanageable um like at the moment. So they always say like they want to see some like case like use like a case studies or like in real life um adaption like in terms of like a policy or law regulations. And now the US like took the risk or just made it into the law. So this is definitely a big milestone in history of like a crypto Web3, I think. So yeah, for Xenia, I think this shift means like we can build more confidently, to be honest, knowing that like a global best practices are starting to emerge and that we can engage with regulators and partners from a position of shared understanding, right? So it's not just about following the rules. It's about helping shape a digital financial future that works for everyone, especially in places that have been undeserved by traditional systems. So in my conversations, what resonates most is the vision for financial inclusion, like making sure new technologies serve ordinary people, not just early adopters or big investors. And of course, yeah, all of you here are like definitely early adopters, and not ordinary people. But I would say, yeah, I would say like a new technology should serve ordinary people, not just you guys, not just the early adopters or big investors. But that's what motivates me or motivates us at Zenia, and especially when it comes to Zenia Wallet. And it's why we welcome moves toward clear, the responsible regulation worldwide. Mhm. Okay, so thanks for all the comments. It really means a lot. So in Xenia, in future employ people. Okay, so you're asking if we will um, employ people. Okay, so we're not doing the recruitment at the moment. I think I don't know, um, probably we will always we always welcome the greatest minds of the world, whoever like highly skilled at whatever means necessary to our ecosystem or to our team. We always welcome like a new mind. But at the moment, I don't think we'll like publicly recruit people. But yes, absolutely. Uh, yeah, like we always welcome like team members. Because sometimes I think it's not actively recruiting, but sometimes we do. And when the time comes, yeah, I will just uh post some tweet here about the recruitment if that happens, when that happens. Yeah. Okay. And what else? Mm-hmm. Hello, Yuma. Good evening. I hope you're doing well. I have an idea and a small suggestion. Okay. What suggestion? It might be a bit long, but I really hope you'll take a moment to read and consider it. Translated this using Google Translate. So I apologize if anything sounds awkward. No, nothing to sorry or nothing to apologize. Um, yeah, it's nothing. Okay. So it really looks like a long story. Okay, so I will take a look later. All right. Um, I thought it would be just a single post, but it's like okay, it's a thread. Okay, I will take a look for sure. Right, and if I have time, like I will cover it tomorrow, or like a day after tomorrow. But yeah, thank you. All right. So yeah, it's been 30 minutes, half an hour, and I'm like I will keep doing this. All right. I will keep hosting this kind of a series of um X space daily basis. So yeah, most likely I will do this tomorrow again. I don't know what time, but um around the same time I think. Yesterday I did it. I started I think it was like a 10 or 10:30, probably 10, like in Japanese Standard Time, like JST. I don't know what time it was in your time zone, but today I started this like 11:30 p.m. and it's been 30 minutes since I just started talking. And yeah, so probably around this time tomorrow again. And I think I got a lot of questions today again, and one of which is from Sandaraka. I think I covered your question last night or during the space like a day before yesterday. I'm not sure, but I think I remember your name. Okay, and I will take a look. Okay, I will take a look of your suggestion later. I promise. But yeah, for today, I think that's it. I just answered two questions from last night, and I touched a little bit of the U.S. President Donald Trump signing the um, like Clarity Act and the Genius Act, and I really want to hear more about the the U.S. move. If you have time, just drop some comments, your thoughts and ideas here under my post. And yeah, if you have any questions or ideas about like whatever in the Web3 realm or specifically about Zenia, let's open up the conversation. Okay. So talk to you tomorrow. I will come back in 24 hours, less than 24 hours. But this is it for tonight. Thank you all for joining, and I'll talk to you tomorrow again. And let's keep building this future together. And one, web participation is real, and technology quietly empowers everyone. Thank you all. Have a good one, and talk to you tomorrow again. Thanks. Bye.